The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op, in affiliation with the network at bicbp-radio.com.
Welcome to the Local Spin Podcast, where we go inside the minds of Western New York's most creative visionaries. I'm Lou Custodi, and today on the program we have a true visionary, someone I've known for a very, very long time, someone very, very near and dear to the broadcasting community from Niagara Falls. We have Sal Paonessa. Hey, Sal, welcome to the show.
Nice to be here, Lou.
Yeah, very, very happy to have you here. And along with Sal, we have Lauren White Daniels. I know I just asked you 3 times, what the name was. I didn't want to make a mistake. And she is working in tandem along with Sal for this year's Niagara Falls Firefighters Christmas Toy Fund Drive. And coming up very, very shortly, there is going to be the telethon. And Sal has been for years very, very much involved with it. So, Sal, why don't we start with the telethon itself? Tell us when it's going to be, where it's going to be, and a little bit about it.
It's going to be December the 6th. It's held at the Niagara Falls High School.
Yep.
And I think we're going on 50 years now with the telethon.
Sure. And we're going to get to the beginnings of the telethon. But you came back to it because you had left for a while, but then you came back to it, about 5-6 years ago, or has it been longer now?
No, actually, just a few years ago, some of the firemen said, hey, we could use a little assistance.
Sure.
And you worked on the telethon years ago. Let's come back and do a little bit sometime.
Yeah, well, you're being a little bit modest when you say you worked in the telethon. You started that telethon.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Now, I remember going back to, so this was, the early 70s? Because it wasn't it?
Yeah.
And it was the beginning of cable TV in Western New York, right?
It was one of the premier local broadcasts.
Yeah.
And we had to go and twist arms and beg people to do the broadcast from Pine Avenue.
Right. Okay. So if memory serves me correctly, this was on STV cable.
Yes, it was. Yep.
That's how long ago this was. Yep. And I remember watching it, and it was in black and white.
Yes.
It was in black and white. And
one camera.
One camera. And did it or did it not start with you trying to raise money for the telethon and trying to stay up as long as you could?
The fireman came to me and said, I was doing a radio type show on cable, okay. And I was also working radio.
Sure.
And they said, we can't make enough at these bucket brigades. We have it like they were at Tops, I think, at the time, and collecting at different locations. We got to do something to raise. We were getting more requests than we can raise funds for. Just, can you help us? And I said, let me think about it. And I said, I remembered years ago, there was a thing called a Wake-a-thon in Lockport.
Okay.
And I used to work at WUSJ when it was WUSJ.
Is that LVL?
You remember? It's LVL now.
Okay,
yeah,
LVL.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. That was before you got into radio.
Way before.
Wait a minute, before I got you into radio.
Yes, exactly right. I mean, that was a long time ago. I was probably running around the printing shop at that point.
That's yeah. Anyway, I said, well, let's do a Wake-a-thon in Niagara Falls.
Okay.
So Bob Monroe, who was the technical director at the cable station, and I went to Vince Lorendi, who was running it at the time, and I said, we want to do this Wake-a-thon, and we want to do it from Pine Avenue. We want to do it where people could come down and donate money and see themselves on TV. And
was it 18th and Pine, and you were in a window?
The first year was at a place, I think it was 18th, Mr. D's Dungarees.
Oh,
okay. And we were in the window.
All right. You were in the window. I remember.
And I stayed awake 33 hours, and they collected money throughout the whole thing. Uh-huh. And that's basically, that's where it started.
And then it kept going year after year after year. It just kept building.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, there was so many people that they were helping, and Lauren could probably tell you now how many over 300 this year?
Increases every year. We have more and more. We have over 100 people that just walk in off the street the day of the actual event.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And this this year, as we said, it's going to be at the Niagara Falls High School Performing Arts Center.
Right.
And now people can come in and they could sit there and watch the show?
Oh, we want them.
Is that correct?
We want them to come in.
Okay.
Yeah, we want them to come in. And that was one of my hopes of coming to see you today, we're hoping to get some entertainment in there.
Okay.
A little different entertainment, maybe a bit. Well, to be honest with you, we wanted you and your daughter there. Lauren was all upset. Christina can't make it. What do you make,
She's
Christina?
a beautiful talent.
Oh, well, thank you so much, Lauren.
And I said, well, I know Lou. Lou will come down. Lou will come down and play for me. Oh no, I'm busy.
It's one of those things. It's become an annual thing with the Italian Center up in Buffalo. We do a Christmas jazz program, and like everybody in Western New York, everything is the first weekend of December when it gets into the Christmas season. That's when everybody does everything because you're just coming out of Thanksgiving and you're going into Christmas.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a conflict, and I'm sure if Christina could have done it, she would have.
And if I still had the video, which we're going to open up in my studio back on internet,
Okay.
I'm going to do podcasts. But I always had you around Christmas time come walking through, playing a trumpet and doing a little Christmas music.
I remember doing that one time for you, or a couple times actually.
Yeah, I know.
That was fun. That was fun. So Lauren, tell us about what you're doing in association with the telethon this year.
Yeah, so a few years ago, someone approached my husband's a firefighter, and they asked if we could help out with the basket auction. So the day of, there is a basket auction, there's concessions, there's a Santa's workshop where kids can come in, they can get a toy, they can have a craft, they can meet Santa Claus. It's very, very nice, and that kind of turned into us helping organize the telethon. That was where I was honored to bring my uncle back. We needed some help, and who better to go to? So this year we are doing anything to try to bring fundraising in. We're trying to make this a bigger event. We're trying to help more people reach out, and anything we can do to expand on it.
Sure. Do you know the amount that they raised last year off the top of your head?
Oh, I do not know. I should have came more prepared.
No, that's fine. I was just wondering what the.
I'm trying to remember, but I'm thinking somewhere around $60,000.
I know the year before we hit almost 76,000.
Well, then it's probably more than last year.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and that's everything all encompassed. And they already started raising money, didn't they, in October with a run? I think
the
they
run
did.
started, actually, I believe it starts with Summerfest.
Does it really?
Yes, Summerfest kicks off that. There are events year round, and everyone shares a different event. So every event goes towards that, and all year round they're collecting.
Right.
Yeah.
So when you donate to a charity, you never know, how does this work? You open up your pockets, you may give them a little bit of money here and there, and you say to yourself, how does this thing actually work? What's the mechanics behind it? They collect all the money.
the thing I like about this telethon, the Niagara Falls firefighters, nobody gets, there's no captain that gets $100,000 to do it, 20,000. All the money goes to local needs.
And is there someone that just goes out and just buys all these different toys and then they're
They are
distributed? How does that work?
contracted. Yeah, they're contracted with certain places, so we get them at a much cheaper price.
Nice.
They also do meals. They do a clothing drive for needy families, and any of the school's social workers can sponsor a child, and any of the firefighters can sponsor a child. So if anyone knows anyone that's in need, they can actually reach out to any of the firehouses.
That was
and
my
they can
next
get the
question is
paperwork.
how do they distribute? How do they know
Yeah.
where to go?
They can go right to their school or right to the firehouses.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you said it's 50 years they've been doing this?
I think it's over 50 years at this point.
Wow.
Well, the firefighters had the toy fund for years.
Right.
A firefighter named Leo F. Heck.
That was the name that was always on.
That
It was
was
the
the
Leo
name.
F. Heck.
That was the toy fund.
Yes.
50 years is the telethon.
Oh, so Leo F. Heck was before that. And then
yeah, for years. Yeah.
Telethon's been going 50 years.
Yeah.
Man, how old are you, Uncle Sal?
Well, he was able to walk in unassisted, so he's not that old.
He's not that old. That's
I,
right. You know what?
I knew
don't
a
want to
little
age
while
myself.
ago, but I forgot now.
Hey, as long as you're still well enough to sit up and take nourishment, you're doing fine, right?
You're right, yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, we're looking forward to it. That this happens. The taping right here is about a month away, so there's an awful lot of activity right now in terms of people going out looking for donations, and it's just something that I know from growing up here in the city that it was always something that was talked about. Everybody knew when that telethon was happening, or the wake-a-thon, whatever you want to call it.
Well, and that's probably because it was in a public place. Hiding it a little bit in the school, which the school gives us a great location because
Sure.
they've got a stage, they've got all the camera equipment and everything's there. But people have to understand they can come off the street, come into school and watch the show. Doesn't cost them anything.
Sure.
They could be a part of it. They could donate. They could get into the basket raffle, which there's hundreds of dollars worth of nice gifts that they
can
raffle
imagine.
off. And it only costs a couple of dollars to put in.
Right.
I think, for one, I mean, just to mention, Firth gives
Every year they give us a gift valued at over $700.
Nice.
Every year.
And if I remember correctly, the basket raffle is at the bottom of the stage there, right?
It's right in the lobby. Right
Oh,
when
it's
you
in
walk
the lobby.
We moved it to make
Okay.
it a little more accessible.
All right. That's great.
I mean, there's hundreds of baskets to choose from.
Sure.
So if you want to, you know, like my wife likes to go shopping at basket raffles. She enjoys that, you know.
Well, it's a fun thing. You get to
Yeah.
see what's there, and there's that element of surprise if you win. So it's
And
kind of
for a little bit of money, you could win a really nice prize.
Sure.
Or
And
a
what
lot of
time do the doors open for the?
11 a.m.
And they're gonna. And how long does it go?
until 7 p.m.
Till 7.
All day.
Okay.
And it's open, and the stage is that's so to be on your podcast is an honor because
thank you.
it's about local talent. And if you're starting off or you're well known, you can come and you can do your act and you can kick things started. Like we have all the dance studios, we try to get singers. So anyone that has a talent can come in and they can work for themselves. That promotes themselves, and they're also giving to charity at the same time.
And I would imagine there's an awful lot of entertainers, singers, dancers, performers that would want to come and do something like that. I know that.
Well, you know, the thing we got to reach out to them, and that's why I was hoping maybe you give us a little connection.
Okay.
Is that a lot of the performers and people, we're dealing with bands right now. I'm trying to get a couple of bands in, and they're saying, geez, I'm playing that morning, I'm playing that evening, I can't set up, and that's the trouble we're having. So, but I'm sure there's a couple guys, though, who have retired from a band, and they're in the process of starting a new band, and they say, hey, maybe we'll come out and promote our new band and we'll play.
Yeah, that would be great if we can do something like that. Because I know the community always gets behind this event every single year. They really do. All right, I think what we'll do right now is we'll take a break to pay some bills, and we'll come back on the other side and talk more about your career here in Niagara Falls and your broadcasting career.
Make Wellness products are formulated and designed to work in harmony with your body to boost energy, enhance focus, optimize metabolism, and support muscle recovery. Whether you're looking to sharpen your mind, fuel your workouts, or achieve lasting wellness, Make Wellness supplements provide targeted solutions backed by science and clean ingredients.
Welcome back to Local Spin, where we go inside the minds of Western New York's most creative visionaries. Today I have one of those folks with me. His name is Sal Paonessa, and when we were on break and before we started talking, he says, what are you talking to me about? I mean, what are you talking visionary? You are the original Niagara Falls visionary because you did things well before everybody else did them. So let's talk about your introduction into radio. And you were right there at the forefront of the heyday, if you want to call it, of local radio in Niagara Falls, New York. So when did you start?
I was 15 when I started in radio.
Okay.
Actually, I was 14.
And did you start right off the bat at one of the local radio stations? What did you do?
I was interested in radio, and my father was friends with Clip Smith, who was
Clip
working
Smith,
in Lockport
Sure.
at WUSJ.
Right. Soon to become WJJL after that, right? Or no, WLVL.
WLVL, yeah. And so I was interested. So my father asked Clip, "Could my son come down and just see what the studio's like?" And went in there, and I loved it. It was
Sure.
it looked like so much fun. And I was 14, and Clip says, I'm going to get you your start in radio. Well, I says, great, what do I have to do? Well, he played this whistle, and my first words on radio was, hey, look, Captain. And he said, raise your voice. Look, Captain, it's the Clipper ship. And
That was it.
That was it. That was the start.
When did you start actually working on air?
15.
At 15.
Yeah.
Now, were you the typical DJ spinning records and like you had a shift 2 to 6 or something like that?
Normally, when I started, it was weekends.
Okay.
They give you whenever anybody didn't want to work.
Okay.
Yeah, you work 6 to midnight Saturday night or Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock running the church programs, and then we'll let you play a few records. And
Sure.
that's how I started.
Okay. So from the station up in, what was it, WUSA? Is that-
WUSJ.
Okay. Now, from there, where did you go?
I I worked at WJJL for a few weeks here in Niagara Falls.
Okay. Right on Main Street? Were they on Main at the time?
No. When I started, they were in the Hotel Niagara on the mezzanine floor.
No kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So
I don't know if you remember. You remember those studios?
I
there?
do not. I remember Main
yeah,
Street. That's why I said Main Street.
No. And then I went to actually, I was 16 or 17. I got offered a job in Canada
Okay.
at a radio station there, and I did the all-night country western show.
Oh, you had to love that.
Yeah, it was fun. It actually was fun.
Okay.
It was in a hotel in Niagara Falls, Ontario, and there was just tons of people around. It was like being in a window on Pine Avenue.
Nice.
People coming in all the time watching, and it was fun.
Right. And okay, so from there, now let's continue. When did you get to WHLD?
After that, I came back
okay.
here, and Eddie Joe offered me a job on WHLD.
Okay. And he was like the chairman of the board with early radio in Niagara Falls,
No,
right?
wait, you know what?
Was it Eddie Joe?
I make a mistake. No, it wasn't Eddie Joe. It was Bob Wells who offered me the job.
Okay.
Bob Wells
right.
was running the station then.
But Eddie Joe was probably there, right?
I don't know if he left and came
Okay.
back. I worked for Eddie Joe for a while,
Mm-hmm.
and I worked for Bob Wells for a while.
Okay.
And I don't remember, but yeah, then I went to HLD. Then I met, I'm going to say you, I met you guys. I met you, Joe Chili, Jeff Gill, and you were all wanting to get into radio. And
Well,
we worked
there was
together
this-
and we got you
There was
in.
this thing, there was a mystique about radio. We all loved it. Now, I actually went and got an associate's in communication and media arts from Niagara County Community College, which is now SUNY Niagara. But I remember before we could go on the air, we had to get our license.
Right, FCC license.
You
Yeah.
right? And you had it too, right?
Yes. had
Okay,
to.
because I remember after we started working together, when you said, "Hey, do you want to do this? Do you have
You
your
had to go
license?"
to Buffalo,
You had to do
take
it.
the test.
And nobody does that anymore.
No.
You could be on radio. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. There's no, you need a license for anything anymore. Well, one of the reasons why I said that you were a visionary, and I truly mean it, you were doing something that no one else did. And that was when you still had the association with the cable company, and you were the disc jockey on TV. That was years ahead of MTV. Nobody was doing anything like it. And you came up with that idea.
I'm sorry you reminded me of that.
No, that was a good time. That was a lot of fun.
Because when I was on cable TV
Mm-hmm.
and we were playing music and we were on the telephone and we were saying,
I remember that.
"Hey, Lauren, what do you want to hear?" "Okay, I'm going to play your song next." And then we'd show the record spinning on a turntable. It was
Yes.
actual, not CDs, records. We'd play them. And at the time, my brother Nick was one of my cameramen.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, "Nick, we're missing something here because we're showing the record. If we could show the band, we'd have something." Then a few months later, a few years later, whatever it was, here comes MTV. There's the disc jockey, and they're showing the bands. And I'm saying,
Right. But you did it first.
well,
You did it first, and people would watch it.
Oh, yeah.
And in fact, that's where I got my start. My 20 minutes in radio over my career was from you. And you said, "Hey, you want to do this?" I said, "I would love to do it." And you took a little bit of time off, and I would come in and I'd run the show for you. And I remember Nikki was there doing the cameras, and I had my brother Anthony in there, and we had a ball.
oh, it did, yeah.
We really had a lot of fun. But nobody even was even thinking about doing that.
That wasn't work. To,
No.
to me, that was never work. Radio was never work.
I couldn't believe we were in the studio and we had the cameras and everything else, and there was nobody else there. Nobody. And it was a lot of fun. It
Oh,
really was.
great fun, yeah.
Charisma?
No, Charisma.
Remember that?
Somebody asked me about Charisma the other day. I forgot what they called him. "Hey, were you the guy that was on cable TV years ago, and you used to have that monster with you?"
That was your dad.
Yeah, it was my dad.
He used to
yeah.
put stuff on and
Yeah.
you would come in and out. I mean, it really, truly was a family affair.
It was
And
fun.
I tell you what, I look back on those days.
Well, my dad was Charisma. My dad was Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
We did letters to Santa Claus. We did we did a lot of
It was
good
good.
stuff.
And what was nice about it, it was Niagara Falls based and it was all community. How long did you do that?
I want to say 4, 5, 6, 7 years. we did
I
that.
think at least that long.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least that long, because I remember when I did it with you, it was at least 2 or 3 years.
But then I got the brain idea. I'm going to open up my own studio, and I'm going to go on the internet. Actually, I wanted to do a radio show.
Wait, was that Super 6 Enterprises?
No, Super 6 was the channel we were on.
You were on
cable.
Super 6. What did you call that? I can't remember. Your company.
My company's Niagara Broadcast Network.
Okay. All right. Well, you're saying right now, though.
No, we started with Niagara Broadcast Network on internet.
Okay.
But when I started, I wanted to do a radio show. And then somebody said, you're missing the boat here again, because you're doing radio, which we're doing now. You're doing radio, but you can do video for almost the same cost. And that's when we went on the air, kind of podcast, but we did 2 or 3 shows a week and did that on
Again,
internet.
this is what This is what I'm saying. You don't consider yourself a visionary, but you were doing all of this stuff out of Niagara Falls, New York.
I just took some shots, Lou. That's it's just something I wanted to do.
But
and
nobody
I
else
did,
was doing this, and you did it, and you did it. You always did it very, very well, and that's one of the things that everybody who knows you has tremendous amount of respect for your professionalism and how you do what you do. And I'm just thrilled that we're able to talk about it to bring maybe another audience into what you've done for I'm going to say 5 decades more.
Well, what we're doing now, and we're trying to get a new audience, and it's not so much visionary, but if you notice, Niagara Falls doesn't have any local news anymore.
Niagara Falls doesn't have a radio station anymore.
Well, they do, but not really. I mean, they're licensed to Niagara Falls,
Right.
but they don't cater to Niagara Falls. There's no. If you remember back in the days when we were in radio,
Right.
WHLD, you had Jimmy Thompson doing the afternoon news.
Exactly.
And you had WHLD doing the afternoon news. You get up in the morning and you turn on the radio. What happened in town? Noon was turn on WHLD, WJJL. Let's see what's local. At night, they do a wrap-up. There isn't that anymore.
It just doesn't exist anymore. Well, the whole industry, the radio industry, has changed. It's nowhere near what it was when I was younger.
But I do it.
That's again the visionary aspect of what we're
I'm
saying
doing it
here.
on the internet.
Yeah.
And our station is NiagaraRadio.net.
Okay.
Okay. And if you go to NiagaraRadio.net, we do local news on the hour and half hour. And if you go to Facebook and put NiagaraRadio.net in their search bar, get the news on demand whenever you want. Just click it.
And you're specifically catering to Niagara Falls.
Heavy Niagara Falls.
Every Niagara Falls. And then you will do like the North Towns, all the North Towns.
Oh,
right?
we do the North Towns.
Sure.
We do major stories.
Okay.
But I mean, today we had 2 major fires we're reporting on, which is going to be old by the time this airs. 2 major fires. We've had accidents. We had a report on the early voting, and we had 2 people arrested in town for stealing $3 worth of items from 2 stores.
Yeah.
It's little, but you know what? It's local. And if it happens in your backyard, if they're breaking into a shed in your neighborhood, I think you're going to want to know about
Absolutely.
it. And we tell you.
And I've heard people say that they don't even watch television news anymore out of Buffalo because it just everything is Erie County and south. There's no real reporting in the North Towns anymore.
What I'm looking at, Lou, is years ago when we were kids or when we started in radio,
Right.
you'd see a kid walking down the street. They'd have a transistor radio or the big boom boxes.
Oh, I
At one
remember
time,
that,
They were
too.
carrying the big boom boxes. Now they don't do that. Now they've got their cell phone. They're either on the phone, no matter where they're at, and that's where we are, on the internet, on their cell phone, on their computer, in their office.
And I think really, if it's not a talk show, back and forth, a call-in show, I don't think people are listening to radio hardly at all anymore anywhere. Because even in your car,
Well, you got to have a niche.
well, exactly. And I think that what you're doing is tremendous. And I just hope that you continue doing it. How are you getting your news stories?
Well, I've got an extensive background with police,
Yes.
and I have.
Well, you worked as a dispatcher for years, too, right?
I worked as a police officer in Niagara Falls and retired from there. And presently I'm working for the town of Niagara Police.
Okay.
I never really retired, but I have contacts that luckily call me. Hey, we got a fire here. We had an accident here. Where this person got, unfortunately, in Niagara Falls. This person got shot again over here. But we have it, and we get a lot of news stories that a lot of people don't have.
What's on the horizon for you now? You got the Niagara. Say the name of the broadcast.
NiagaraRadio.net.
Okay, NiagaraRadio.net. And you're planning on building that out to the
Well,
best?
I'm going back to the podcast. You were on our podcast several times when we used to. I got out of the podcast because in the building we were in, the glass building downtown.
I call it the Flash Cube.
The Flash Cube, yeah. In the building we were in, at the height of COVID, they were saying, don't get near anybody from New York City. Well, there was buses coming in that building with tours from New York City with hundreds of people. And I said, this is not a good place to be.
Another casualty.
They were they were walking in the elevators, sneezing, coughing,
Sure.
touching all the buttons. I said, I don't want to. So I got out of it for a little while, stuck to my police work, but then I decided we got to get back. There was a calling. People, where's the news? And like you see here, there's a calling for a podcast.
There is.
You're hitting an audience that is interested in what you do, the people you know, and the associations that you have, and like the Hall of Fame, different things. I mean, they want to see that you're calling, that you're following, that you're people. And we had a lot of people that said that to me, and that's why I got back into it. And we're going to expand the video again. And
I think you should.
I'm not quite sure what I have a bunch of ideas, but I'm not quite sure which ones we're going to actually tackle. But
I'm sure whatever you decide, it's going to be successful.
I hope.
And it'll probably be the next thing that people do 15, 20 years down the road because you're so far ahead of the curve your whole life.
If I could, that's great if I could only figure out how to make some money out of it.
Well, we're not talking about anybody getting rich off of anything. You know what I mean?
What are you looking to do with this? Now, this podcast I thought was a great idea.
Yeah.
And it fills a niche for people that want this information that you can't normally get. Unless maybe you're in the music business.
And then it varies depending on who you're speaking to. So with this platform here is a way in which an artist, a musician, a composer, a singer, a dancer, whatever, can come and talk about what they do. And it's about what they do, how they do it, and more importantly, why they do it. Now, why did I come up with this idea? Because when you go and you speak with people, they look at you and say, well, how do you do that? How does this work? How do you guys, okay, from a music standpoint, right? They'll come up to the bandstand in between songs sometimes and start talking to you. It happened just the other day at a gig that I did, and say, well, how do you guys know what you're doing? Why do you how does this work? And people don't understand it. It's one of those things, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, you don't know. So I thought to myself, it would be nice to sit down and have a conversation with somebody like yourself who's been in broadcasting your whole life and say, how did you do this? Why do you do this? And where'd you get your start? What have you seen over the years? What's your experience been? And that's basically the premise of the show, just to give a mouthpiece to somebody to say, this is what it's working.
Let me turn the table on you for a minute here.
Okay.
What are you hoping to do? Where are you going to go with this? You've got a beautiful family.
Well, I appreciate
and your daughter's a gem. She really is.
Thank
Christina's terrific, and we've had her on my program a couple of times, and people loved her.
Well, I appreciate you saying that.
But I mean, it's you, your family, it's music. It's now you're doing this. Where's this all heading for you? What do you see down the line a couple of years from now?
A couple of years from now, I would hope that we get a pretty decent viewership, I guess you could call it. Yeah, listenership, viewership, whatever, people visiting the podcast, people playing it, and that will perpetuate the show itself, where it'll give somebody else an opportunity to come on and explain not only what they do and how they do it, but why they do it. I'll tell you what, did you ever see a show called Inside the Actors Studio? It was on PBS.
No.
Well, what it was, and I can't remember the gentleman's name. He passed away a while back, but he would have actors come in And we're not talking actors that nobody knows. We're talking big name actors. And he would start talking to them in front of a live audience, and they were all drama majors or people in theater. And after the first 15, 20 minutes, half hour, all of the curtains came down. And now the people in the audience were looking at somebody, and they weren't stars anymore. They were people who were in the craft that the people in the audience were aspiring to, and they were talking about how they prepared for certain things and where they got their inspiration and what they did to get into different roles. And I thought to myself, on a much smaller basis, we could do that locally. We can talk to people who go out every single weekend and play in bands, or people who go out and sing with bands, or people who write music. We could say, where do you get your inspiration? And then I thought, it doesn't just have to be music. It could be the theater. How are you running your theater? What are all the parts of the theater? It could be fine arts, a painter, something like that. So in your case, it's like you're still in entertainment. You're not up on stage unless you're doing the Wake-a-thon or something like that, telethon. But it's like, how do you do it? Why do you do it? Where did you get your start? That's what it's all about.
Is there a community involvement in what you do as far as... I do the telethon because I enjoy helping people. Mm-hmm. I do the news because I feel there's a service, and I hear from a lot of people that are tuning in. Hey, we get up, we listen in the morning, we listen to you before we go to bed at night. We want to see what Niagara Falls. It's kind of a niche. Mm-hmm. What are you hearing?
With this program right here,
Yeah.
This is just starting. This is brand new. I've had a couple people already view the episode that we just did. So this is the second episode. And where did I go? I came right to you. I says, I got to get him on to talk about what he's done all these years. But it's all been positive. And I think it does fill a need. When you're in entertainment, whether it's music, whether it's productions with theater, whatever, right? People, the average person, doesn't know what it took for you to get to that point. And I just thought this could be a really nice sounding board for people. We'll see what happens.
No, it's nice, and I think you'll do well because of your family. No, I mean, you talked about my dad.
Yeah.
Your mom and dad were beautiful people.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that.
No,
I miss them to this day.
Oh, the two great people, and they helped me out a lot when I started my businesses, and that's where I get to know all you folks.
I was going to say that's how we got to know each other.
Yeah, and they were wonderful but sincere people, loving people and helping people, and that's why I hope that we can help somebody through the telethon, through anything we do. And I know in your heart that's where you're going.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because it's bred in your family,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way to be in this world.
Well, I really
we need
appreciate you
that.
saying
We need that.
Well, you're not kidding. All right, I'll tell you what we'll do is we'll pay the bills one more time here. We'll come back and then we'll wrap it up.
Make Wellness products are formulated and designed to work in harmony with your body to boost energy, enhance focus, optimize metabolism, and support muscle recovery. Whether you're looking to sharpen your mind, fuel your workouts, or achieve lasting wellness, Make Wellness supplements provide targeted solutions backed by science and clean ingredients.
Welcome back to The Local Spin, where we go into the minds of Western New York's most creative visionaries. I'm sitting here today with Sal Paonessa, certainly fills that bill, and Lauren White-Daniels, who's involved with the Leo F. Heck Firefighters Fund. See that? Old habits die.
I know. Yeah.
Very, very difficultly. The Niagara Falls Firefighters Christmas Toy Fund. Oh, and before we get into just wrapping everything up here, our wonderful producer, who is Rich Moranto, on the break told me that it was James Lipton who was the person that did Inside the Actors Studio. So, and he remembers it well. So it was just a fantastic thing, which hopefully we're able to continue going along this line. But anyway, in just finishing up, I wanted to come back to the wonderful work that the Niagara Falls firefighters do. Your involvement again. Are you there all day long on Saturday? The 6th.
This year I probably will.
You'll be there.
He will be.
Yeah.
No, he probably will be.
You will be.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like going to be the master ceremonies, right?
Kind of helping out.
Yeah.
But the firemen have done it for years now since
Sure.
I got off.
So they went and got a professional this time, is basically what you're saying.
No.
Yeah.
We called in help.
You called in help, but it's going to be a great day. It's Saturday, December the 6th. It's going to be held at the Performing Arts Center over at Niagara Falls High School, and we encourage everybody to go out and spend some time in the community, right? Because that's the basis of the Wake-a-thon, the telethon was getting out into the community.
You said you couldn't come and play. Are you going to stop in?
I'm going to do my best. I'm going to be in Buffalo most of that day. If I can get there toward the end of it, you're finishing up. You said it's 6 or 7?
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock. Okay. If I can get back in time, I'll come in and say hi and wish everybody a
Bring
bunch
your
of.
trumpet.
Yeah. Well, I'll have it with
Bring
me.
your trumpet.
You're about the only person that says anywhere I go, bring your horn, bring your horn. Everybody else said, put that damn thing away. We don't want to hear it anymore. Lauren, is there anything else that you'd like to share with us before we wrap up?
I would just, I like I said, I'm honored to be here. It's an honor to bring my uncle back to the telethon. We couldn't do it without him. We really couldn't. And it's a beautiful fundraiser. It's a beautiful charity. Nobody takes any kind of profit from it. None of the firefighters that you see there are getting paid. None of their family. My entire family comes out and helps out, from my Uncle Sal's wife, who does concessions the entire day, to his daughter. Everyone is there helping. My mother is Mrs. Claus every year.
Beautiful.
Our entire community comes out. We have so many people from the community, and not one person is getting paid. So it's just such a beautiful event to give back to our own city and our own community.
Right, and the money stays local.
And you got to realize you probably don't know how many people need help in the city.
I don't think anybody does, but
No,
everybody would say it's a lot. But I mean,
it is.
It really is, right?
We have over 400 homeless students just enrolled from grades kindergarten through 12. 400 homeless students.
That's a lot. That really is.
And the Firefighters Toy Fund could help every single one of them with the efforts of our community behind
There's
them.
some terrific organizations in this area.
Mm-hmm.
I talk with the Salvation Army all the time.
Yeah.
I talk to the Niagara Gospel Mission. I was talking to them just the other day. With the way the food stamps were shut down and there's a problem, they're giving 2,000 dinners out for the holidays.
That's tremendous.
And they have people volunteering to cook and to deliver them to shut-ins, to people that can't come out and get them.
It's such important work, and it's noble work too.
Yeah.
Right. That's the work that you do because you need that it needs to be done, and it needs to be done, and nothing's coming back to you personally for it. It's just totally giving back to the community. Okay. All right. Well, perfect. Thank you, Sal. It's been a pleasure.
It's my pleasure to be here. I'm glad to be able to sit here with you because of where we started. And here you are doing what I originally wanted to do. You're doing a podcast. You're making it in show business, playing all the time.
Well, I appreciate
well,
you saying
you
that.
are.
We do what we can do.
And you got your family following in your footsteps, and I'm proud to be a friend of yours. Thank you for having us in.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Sal. Thank you, Lauren.
Thank you.
Until next time, I'm Lou Custodi. Be sure you tune into The Local Spin.
Make Wellness products are formulated and designed to work in harmony with your body to boost energy, enhance focus, optimize metabolism, and support muscle recovery. Whether you're looking to sharpen your mind, fuel your workouts, or achieve lasting wellness, Make Wellness supplements provide targeted solutions backed by science and clean ingredients.